Good morning, students. Once again, I am here, and today I am going to give an introduction of the chapter A Triumph of Surgery, and it is written by James Herriot. And this is the first chapter from the book. I think already I have told you, and the name of the book is The Footprints Without Feet. So let us start the introduction of the first chapter. Tricky was a little dog. His mistress, Mrs. Pomfrey, was a rich lady. She overfed the dog. The dog became very fat and fell ill. He stopped eating. Mrs. Pomfrey got worried. She sent for a vet. The vet at once understood the cause of a dog's trouble. He told Mrs. Pomfrey that the dog would have to be admitted in the hospital. Mrs. Pomfrey agreed to it with a heavy heart. The writer took away the dog. He did not give the dog any drugs. He gave him to eat only as much as was needed. He gave him sufficient exercise also. Mrs. Pomfrey would keep phoning to know about the dog's health. One day, the writer told her that the dog was recovering. Now, Mrs. Pomfrey started sending lots of eggs, wine, and brandy for the dog. But the writer would not give any of these to the dog. He and his companions enjoyed these things themselves. After 2 weeks, Mrs. Pomfrey came to take back her dog. She was surprised to see Tricky. The dog now looked quite healthy and active. There were tears of joy in her eyes. She said to the writer, "Oh, Mr. Herriot, how can I ever thank you? This is a triumph of surgery." So this was the story and the introduction of the story. Now I will tell you that a small introduction was given. Now I will tell you the small summary of this story. Okay, so listen very carefully so that you can understand it very nicely and you can get the idea of whole story. Tricky was a small dog. It was excessively loved by his mistress, Mrs. Pomfrey. Tricky was a greedy dog who loved food but do no exercise. As a result, he became fat. Mrs. Pomfrey believed that he became lazy due to suffering from malnutrition. She was a wealthy woman. She loved her dog so much. She also gave him some little foods between the meals to build him up: malt, cod liver oil, and a bowl of Horlicks at night. She gave him lot of to eat but no exercise. Once he became ill and she was worried. She made a call to James Herriot, who was a vet. James already had given suggestions regarding Tricky's balanced diet, but she never followed it. He was a vet. He was shocked to see Tricky hugely fat, like a bloated sausage, with a leg at each corner. He advised her to cut down on the sweet things. He expected call came within a few days, and it happened. He was called by Mrs. Pomfrey as Tricky refused to eat. He told her that Tricky need an immediate hospitalization for keeping under observation at his surgery for a fortnight. In the hospital, he gave him no food, no medicine, but plenty of water. Gradually, he mixed with other dogs and started playing with them. He had a lot of exercises and fun at the surgery. He was completely recovered and transformed into a hard muscle dog. James Herriot treated the dog without medicine or surgery. Mrs. Pomfrey was very happy and filled with gratitude. She thanked Herriot and said it was a triumph of surgery. And this is the whole summary of the story. Thank you, students. I will come again with the next chapter. Thank you.